Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays. I am here to tell you that once again, WFABB, the team within the multi-level marketing company Ponzi scheme in my opinion, iGenius, they used to be with Monate. I'm here to tell you that they are truly the gift that keeps on giving. So the girlies hosted a webinar called Digital Dynasty. It was today. It was 3 hours long. And at first I was like, no, I'm absolutely not doing it. And then I was like, what the hell else am I gonna do? I got nothing else to do. So I got all cozy, grabbed my paper, grabbed my notebook, and I took notes. I took 17 pages of notes to be precise. Very culty. We are going to skim through a few parts of it just because it's exhausting, to say the least. But I think that it's very interesting and we are going to go through it. And there are truly some absolutely hilarious parts. As I've been making a habit of saying in all of my videos, I don't know these people personally. They could be great humans. In my opinion, a few of them are absolutely just deplorable and gross. It's more about their actions, not them personally, but their actions, what they're saying, the manipulation, the cult tactics, and really just pointing these things out and actually giving you a visual representation of what it's like when people use these manipulation tactics so that you will know what to look out for and all the red flags and really just take a longer second to think about these things when you are presented them on social media and so that you can help your friends, yourself, and your family not to get scammed as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
Comes in the way because you rely on you've been relying on people for the longest time. But listen, if I could do it, you guys can do it. All you got to have is burning desire. And with burning desire comes with belief in yourself. Okay, you got to believe that you are meant for more, that you are able to have this financial freedom, this abundant life. Okay, so quickly, 3 tips that made me super successful in the online world, okay? And something that's going to help you never run out of money again. A lot of us, we overthink. That's the first tip. You got to stop overthinking.
Person who's kind of like the MC or like the maitre d', if you will, for the call itself, Samar. I think her name's Samar. She's a beautiful girl. And she was kind of like the in-between person. She would announce people. And at the beginning, she literally went on and on and on for probably 5 minutes. Felt like she was just like wasting time. And she said a billion times, not a billion obviously, but at least like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times. Grab your pen and paper. This is going to be such valuable information. Make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you're paying attention. Like you have to be paying attention. And it's just like, girl, if you have to sit there and tell people that make sure that they pay attention at the beginning for like that many times, like that should tell you something. Like, what are you doing? From what I know and from what she has said, allegedly, the first network marketing company she was in was iGenius, but it went by a different name and had a different CEO, but it was the same company. And so she was in that one under her boyfriend's team. And she had said that she relied on her ex and she was a stay-at-home girlfriend, you know, kind of like how that meme is right now on TikTok and Instagram. But she said she was a stay-at-home girlfriend and she relied on him and it was super toxic and abusive, but she was like just there for that. It was just really interesting because she was saying that she relied on her ex for money. And she's like, oh, I relied on a man. And it's like, well, cool. Now you rely on your downline. So you're relying on someone for money. Like you can't say you're self-made when you're in an MLM. And it doesn't just take drive and passion to be successful. You can be as motivated and have all the great mindset and all that. Time and work and luck. But a lot of these people want to skip past the like hardships. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Thinking. You have to stop overthinking. How many of you guys go on social media and you guys overthink your life and then nothing happens and you're like, okay, we're going to try again tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes. Who is this person that goes on their social media? They record and re-record and 20 times and 30 times and 40 times until you're like, you know what? I'm in a negative state now. I need to let's try again tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. And I'm going to put a stop to this right now so you guys can succeed. A lot of people in this life, in this world, are professional planners. Are professional recorders that never post it up publicly. Okay? We got to actually post it up so the world can see your greatness, feel your greatness, and know who you are. Okay, people need to see and feel your greatness. You are somebody who is unique in this world.
Okay, I was really hoping that you weren't going to be able to hear a certain someone snoring in this recording, but you can. So I'm going to try to have Ethan like isolate their voices so that you can't hear that. And then also so you can't hear like me like shuffling around and stuff. But if you've ever had to screen record a Zoom, you have like it doesn't record the audio like from just it records the audio from like your computer speaker or like your computer mic, so it can like hear everything around you. So I'm listening to it right now and I can hear Wiggum snoring, but personally, and I'm just going off my notes here because I have a lot of notes, but personally I think they say this because they want you to pull the trigger and not put off joining their team. I mean, that's a pretty common sales tactic. It's a reason why they use FOMO so much. It's a reason why, tell people to do it scared, to just do it. You've held yourself back for so long. And it's like, I mean, not really. Like, let me look at some reviews. Let me like do my own research on it. It's not, there's a difference between, like shooting yourself in the foot or overthinking things or overcomplicating things, which she talks about that in a second too, which is literally the same thing in this context. Those things apply to like the real world and not really to a multi-level marketing company. But the reason why they say all these types of things is because it does make sense to you in terms of like real world, and to make that connection there of like, oh, well, it's the same thing in an MLM. No, it's not. It's all about recruiting, point blank, period. That's all. That's how you've been successful, Jasmine, because you've recruited a bunch of people. That's why you get these people to idolize you.
So understand that it's time to actually start posting. Stop overthinking. Okay, because when you are overthinking, somebody else who is an overachiever is taking action. You need to look at entrepreneurship like it's a sport. Okay, are you sitting on the bleachers or are you actually going out there and doing that touchdown? Okay, it is a sport. There are people out there trying to make it happen as well. Are you the person that's just going to overthink and not post for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, a year? Or are you going to be the overachiever? So stop overthinking. Trust me, I used to be that overthinker, but you need to discipline your thoughts. Discipline your thoughts. It's you versus you. That's something about my journey that I had to learn. It has nothing to do with the world around me. It has everything to do with you. It's you versus you every single day. You wake up, it's you. You wake up the next day, it's you. You are battling you every single day. So you got to discipline your thoughts. If you know you're overthinking it, you got to be like, this is what I do. I'm like, Jasmine, just shut up. Like, you did this yesterday. You did this yesterday. Like, let's not, let's get it going. You said you want to be a millionaire. You said you wanted to rely on yourself. You said you didn't want to rely on a man ever again. Let's get it going. Because if we're going to keep overthinking things, we're going to keep having to rely on another man, okay? And that's what I had to tell myself when I had nothing.
Why are those your only two options of, being successful in this MLM and making $1 million or going back to relying on a man? You can still rely on yourself and like get a traditional job. You don't have to be in an MLM and scamming people. Those aren't your only two options. We're actually going to move it to 1.25 speed.
Take this advice and go out there and take action. Second tip, okay? How much time do I have? 4 minutes, okay. Okay, second tip. Stop overcomplicating things, okay? Stop. Listen, it's really easy when you're excited about what you're doing to overcomplicate things and just verbally bomb it on people, okay? Because you are so excited. You just want everyone to have the same passion. But listen, okay? Just like you're going to the movies, you had to see the trailer first, right? So you gotta simplify it. Simplify the process.
I mean, you could time it right and get there like a little bit late so that you don't have to watch the trailers. Don't overcomplicate things. In this context, isn't overcomplicating things, isn't that the same exact thing? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, and give me a good example of how they're different. But in my mind, those are the exact same thing.
It's super easy. You know what makes a successful person successful? They take something overcomplicated with a whole bunch of information and they simplify it. Because the world, majority of the time, the world gives up when things are hard. So if you make it hard and overcomplicated, they are not going to buy into. You can have the best solution for somebody's life, the best product. How many of you guys believe that you are selling the best product to these consumers, to these people? Type of one, if you know to your core that this is going to change someone's life.
By the way, mostly all of the people in the chat of this call, mostly all the people in this call, are in iGenius already.
It's not going to change someone's life if you overcomplicate it. So you need to simplify the process. And that's what I've been able to do really well. Why? Because I was the average person, okay? The average person will not sign up with you if it's overwhelming and overcomplicating, okay? It's easy.
You can literally hear me tearing out the pages I had to tear out because I had like random notes in here and I was like, oh, again, I'm sorry about that. But you know what? We got to do what we got to do.
To overcomplicate things, it's hard to simplify things. So I want you to learn the skill set of simplifying everything. So I was this person. I was this girl. I needed it to be simple because if it wasn't simple, I wasn't signing up. So I knew that I needed to simplify the process, right? For the average person, because I knew I was the average person. And when it was simple to me, I was like, yes, I can do this. Yes, let's do it. That's all you got to do. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Yes. Let's go out there and take action. So stop overcomplicating things. Simplify everything in your life, everything in your business, in your life. You need to simplify it. If you're talking on your social media, 3 things of what you do. 3 things that I do. I have an online presence. I monetize my social media and I invest. That's it. That's all I talk about. I don't go into detail. I only go into detail.
Monetize my social media. I invest, and I forgot the other thing she said. I don't go into detail. Okay, so you mislead people. I mean, I understand, like, don't give them everything. Like, don't put all your cards out there. Don't overshare. But when you're literally recruiting people and, like, you are marketing, like, yourself, yeah, you're not being forthcoming. You're not saying, I work for a multi-level marketing company and you have to pay this much and it's all about recruiting. You're not saying that. And honestly, why would you if you wanted people to actually sign up? Why would you be forthcoming? Why would you be honest?
Go into detail. People are like, okay, I want to do what you do. Tell me more about what you do. And then I go into detail. Okay, last point. I got 1 minute. 1 minute, you guys. 1 minute, last point. I leverage. Okay? I leverage everything in my life. What does this mean? Okay, so I leverage artificial intelligence. So pretty much I leverage things that I'm not good at. Okay, if you're not good at something, I need you guys to go and leverage. Okay, so I leverage artificial intelligence in the crypto market. I am not a crypto expert. I am not a crypto trader, but I love making money. I love making money. Okay, friends. And if you're just like me, pay attention. Okay, so I love making money. So artificial intelligence, I leverage that. I don't have to be an expert. Okay, I found something that was going to simplify my life. Second thing, I leverage experts. I'm not a forex trader, but I will be in 2023. But while I'm learning how to be a forex trader, I'm also earning at the same time. Okay, I'm earning because I leverage experts that do all the heavy lifting for me. And the third thing is I leverage strengths. Okay, find yourself a team that has different strengths. Okay, what you're not good at, you will leverage that your teammate's strength. And what they're not good at, they're leveraging my strength. So find a team that has different strengths and that brings different things to the table. Okay, and when you leverage in your life, things will get super, super easier. Work smarter, not harder, you guys. Okay, so those are my 3 tips. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love you guys so much.
Oh, Jasmine. I know y'all are going to ask, so this is Diva by MAC. And then the one I had on before that, Seductress by Maybelline. Do you mean outsource? I could be a complete dum-dum. I'm not an expert on, actually, I mean, some stuff I am, but I'm just a lady with a camera and a bulldog, all right? That's it. But within this context, I don't think that it means outsource. I don't know. I feel like those things, like, they don't mean the same thing. Speaking of expert, she said, I'm not an expert on Forex yet, but I am learning it now, and I will be in 2023. You've been in this company for over a year now, because allegedly you joined it before everyone else did. So you've been in this company for over a year now, publicly for about a year, and you have not learned about Forex yet. That's one of their biggest things that they promote. And also, if you're just now learning it now, that doesn't mean you're going to be an expert in it in 2023. So let's see. This time next year, we'll check back in with her. Is she an expert on Forex then? Probably not. Absolutely, probably not.
I cannot wait to hear the rest of the speakers. I'm going to bring some more up. Love you guys. Amazing. Drop some ones in the chat for this, Jasmine.
It's so good. You know what they really need to do in their next reality show episode? They need to add a laugh track. Jasmine, if you're watching this, you swear you don't watch my videos. I don't know if you do. Jasmine, please, for the love of God, put a laugh track in the next episode. It would be hilarious if you, it would actually be really, really funny if you did that. And I don't mean funny embarrassing. I mean funny, it would actually be funny. Please do it for me. Because let's be honest, Me and some of my people are like the only ones who watch that, other than you and your team watching it 70 times. So please do it for us. Give the audience what they want.
Learn from her. Quick key takeaways. Number 1, progress over perfection. Stop overthinking it, right? Just get up and do the damn thing. You're going to get better as you go along, okay? Number 2, stop overcomplicating it. We get in our own heads and it prevents us and it kills our dreams, our hopes, and whatever it is that we have planned, right? And then number 3, leverage other people's expertise while you're learning the skill, okay? You know, leverage out, outsource people who are smarter than you, people who have the knowledge, right? While you're still learning to do that stuff, leverage other people's strengths and skill sets, okay? I love it. All right, guys, so we got another amazing speaker, okay? This man has been in the network marketing space for over 10 years, okay? Not only is he the #1 income earner in iGenius, but he's also the youngest person to ever walk the $1 Million Hall of Fame at just 21 years old, okay? Because of this industry and the massive success he's had in it, he has been able to, you know, become a serial entrepreneur, okay? He's had massive success in other businesses such as real estate, the financial markets, and so much more, okay? And he's a big advocate in investing. This guy is one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to investing in the financial markets. You definitely want to open your ears up to him.
So this next guy they're bringing on, the stuff that he's sharing it's not awful. It's very analytical. It seems like he's very like numbers driven. And having him on there is, and we're going to skip through a good bit of it because this video is going to be it's just going to be way too long. I'll go over all my notes still from it and just give you like a synopsis. I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with what he's saying. I'm going to go over like the manipulation aspect of it too. Like what he's saying isn't groundbreaking. It's pretty basic when it comes to investing. It's pretty basic. And I know I'm going to get questions on this too, so I'm putting on a few of the Kiss Falscara lashes. I have on like the super basic ones right now that come with the starter kit, but they sent me a bunch of them. I will have all of them linked down below. But I wanted to put some of these at like the ends just to make it a little bit more like cat eye like.
Give it up for Mr. Anthony Napolitano. Drop some ones in the chat for Mr. Anthony Napolitano, please.
What is up, guys? What is up? Excited to be here today with everyone. It was great just listening to Jasmine for a few minutes, but yeah, I'm excited to be here and share some knowledge with you guys. Really today, heavily focused on the financial markets and understanding how money works. And I think this is something that I learned at a very, very young age that most people are clueless to. And I can tell you, it will completely change your life when you start understanding these principles to put yourself in a position to win. So like basically what was just said, I've been in this industry now for 10 years. I've been in the financial markets heavy for the last 8 years. And I'm talking all financial markets, traditional equities, Forex, cryptocurrencies. I've been in them all. Okay, I've traded in them all. I've had long-term investments in them all. And I understand how the markets work and I understand ROI. And this is a big thing. A lot of people think the traditional program, right, that 401k, CDs, bonds, Roth IRAs, mutual funds, will set them up in a position to retire and be successful long term. But that is really a misnomer in today's world. See, most people don't understand that inflation, meaning the depreciation of our money, is actually a lot worse than typically what we're getting on average, which is kind of crazy. So a lot of you guys have seen your parents, your grandparents, a lot of people work 30, 40, 50 years of their life and basically be stuck living on Social Security. Let me know in the chat if you guys have seen that. They've worked their entire lives. They try to put money into a traditional type of retirement program, and then they're stuck living on Social Security because they really just don't build enough, right? The money never compounds at a level where it's sustainable, okay? This is very, very common. You know, my grandparents, I see it with them. My parents, I see it with them, right? They were never able to have their money compound at an efficient rate enough where they could actually live on the money. Okay, this is just a fact. So I'm going to share a few statistics with you guys, okay? Could someone please let me be a host real quick so I can share my screen? I got a few things I want to show. So let me know if you guys can make me a host real quick.
Just 1 minute.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so while they're doing that, this is so important to understand. I'm going to show you guys statistics and charts to make this all make sense for you so you guys can understand how important this is to truly understand and put yourself in a position to win financially. Let's see. Boom. All right, here we go.
Okay, you should be host now.
Thanks, Ray. So as you guys can see my screen right here?
It really kills me that they, one, aren't like prepared with stuff like that, but then also that it doesn't seem, and you'll see later on, that like they're taking it super seriously like once they're off camera and it's like, okay, my part's done, I'm done. Realistically, like why wouldn't y'all have someone who is being like your producer, like someone doing like production basically, where they are like, they're the one making people host and doing like the transitions and the like going through slides for people and like having everyone's like deck And then like stuff like that, right? It's just really frustrating that they don't do stuff like that. But again, it's when you're not a professional necessarily and you don't know what you're doing and you're basically just playing dress up. This is the type of stuff that happens.
You can see my screen right here. All right. Historically, okay, we're talking from basically, you can see the data right here. From 1960 to 2001, the average inflation rate was about 4% a year. Okay, you guys heard what I just said. The average inflation historically over the last, that's a very good period of time, 50 years, right, is basically 4% a year. And that is before, okay, you guys know in 2020, we had something happen, right, where the government, okay, a pandemic, this thing called COVID, where the government started printing excess amounts of money, okay? The US government, for example, the Fed specifically, right, they're the ones in control of the money. They printed about 40% of all the US dollars in the world in less than 24 months. Let me know if that's crazy, guys, okay? So historically, we were inflating at 4% a year. Before, we just printed 40% of all dollars that have ever been created in the world in 24 months. So what is inflation, you guys think, today? The old number was, hey, we inflate about 4% a year. Inflation right now, well, we see how they skew the numbers, around 8%, right? But it's probably upwards of 10%. Pretty modestly saying that. It's probably 15, 20, but let's just even go lowball it and say 10, right? Inflation's crazy right now. So the average American, where's their money? Okay, where's their money? Their money is in something called a 401k. Okay, the average 401k averages historically between 5.
Isn't it hilarious how he's like, oh, well, inflation right now is this, but you know what? It's probably actually this or this or this. And it's like, sir, what are you, you're just making up numbers now. But we know that a lot of these people tend to inflate numbers that they're going over just to make it work. Now, he's going to keep going on and on and on about inflation. Okay, and we're gonna skip this part because he just keeps going on and on and on about it. But it's a scare tactic in my opinion. So the notes I have here is that the reason why people in these investment MLMs talk so much about inflation is because they're attempting to create and this is just my opinion, but from like a sales background, this is how I translate, so to speak. I think what they're trying to do is create like a distrust and kind of like create a problem for them. Obviously, like inflation's an issue for everyone, obviously. But trying to be like, oh, well, even if your money is in the bank, like it's losing its value, blah, blah, blah. So why not like put it into, the markets, the crypto market, put it into here, put it into there. And it's like, that's like not stable though. The Dow Jones and all that has like gone up, and then like how the housing market is, going up, and then it's going to go down, but everything's going up because like the value of the dollar and blah, 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 whatever, it goes down as like time goes on. And it's like, yeah, that's called inflation, dummy. Like that's going to keep happening. There's just a lot of buzzwords that people like this are going to use. What they're doing is trying to present or like overwhelm your audience as well, but try to present a solution, which would then be the MLM or a course or whatever. And of course, the people that you're trying to sell it to would, jump on it because it's like, oh, well, this is a solution and this is actually going to make me more money. And it's like, not necessarily, because you're throwing away so much money to try to join this company when you could just take that $200, $1,000, whatever, and actually like invest it into like the stock market,
Stop pretty much dramatically. Only wealthy people that have cash offers really are going to be buying homes because they can afford to do so. Okay. So understand, okay, we're in a recession currently. Okay. And this is a bear market and a market cycle. Historically, Bitcoin runs off a 4-year cycle. Other industries, it could be 5 years, 7 years, depends which industry we're specifically looking at. But we also all need to understand there's ebbs and flows in the market. Ebbs and flows. Okay. What does that actually mean? When everyone is telling you to go buy something, please be selling it. When everyone is telling you to sell something, please be buying it. What does that mean? Okay, it's one of the most famous lines that Warren ever had. Buy the fear, sell the greed. You guys ever heard that one before? See, actually right now, when people are running away from cryptocurrency, running away from traditional equities, this is actually the time that you want to be accumulating these assets at a very, very cheap price. See, the average person.
So basically buy the dip is what he's saying. And that's pretty common. I feel like anyone who listens to any type of like investing anything knows that or has heard that. Like it's not some revolutionary information that he's sharing there, but it is hilarious that they're like, oh my God, he's made so much money and blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, it's probably just because he's, kind of okay at explaining some of this stuff and doesn't look like a complete boob like half of y'all who are in this MLM. Absolutely hilarious that they are even wasting time talking about trading during this call. 95, let's say, % of the income that iGenius reps make isn't from trading or investing or anything like that. It's from recruiting people to be on your team. Also hilarious that they talk about Warren Buffett so much because he's, such a financial guru. Warren Buffett would not tell you to waste your money joining a multi-level marketing company and invest it into the thing that you want to invest it into.
Pull up this Bitcoin chart specifically for you guys, just real quick, okay? The average person is like, oh my God, Bitcoin's at 16 or 17,000. Oh my God, it's going to zero. Holy crap. And these are people that literally bought this asset just a year ago, let's say November of last year, around $70,000 a coin, okay? They are thinking to themselves right now, oh my God, it's going to zero. Okay, this is what they're thinking. But at the end of the day, okay, they're buying up here.
It's just so funny that they're acting like people don't know that you buy the dip. You do this and that, and it's like, buddy, this is the most generic advice that you could give anyone when it comes to trading.
Because retail investors are emotional. They're not logical thinkers. They're also investing too much money. See, whenever you're worried about an investment, you've invested too much money. You need to have the attitude and the mindset that whenever you invest, you're willing to lose 100% of that money, so you're not emotionally tied to the investment. Does this make sense, guys? You can't be emotional when it comes to investing, or you're going to make major mistakes. See, I had some investments that I've had over the years that I put money in. Money went down very, very quickly. I didn't panic sell it. And guess what? 3 years later, it was worth 5x of what I bought it for.
Do not invest more than you are okay with losing, and then double that.
I did not panic because I didn't need the money. Okay? You never invest with money that you need to pay your bills with. This is so, so important. So right now, when everyone's saying, oh my God, this Bitcoin thing, and no one's interested about it, well, I can tell you, between, let's just say right now, and the middle of, let's just say next year, let's say summer of next year. Okay? Right now, we're at, what's today's date? December 11th. Between now and the middle of next year will be the best time to dollar cost average into crypto.
Never invest the money you pay your bills with. Aren't the WFABB girls the ones who say to sell your TV, sell your clothes, put it on a credit card? If you're putting it on a credit card, you can't afford it. Like, he's not giving bad advice. It just is manipulative since it is being applied to this context, which is joining a multi-level marketing company. All right, so he just keeps going and going, and it's, like I said before, it's not new information. Really, all the information that he is saying, you can learn on Investopedia, you can learn on finance podcasts, you can learn on like Coinbase. They have a lot of informational videos on there, and then also on like YouTube and stuff too. There's some creators that share that information for free, and you don't have to take a course, so you don't have to buy something from them. My two favorites are actually three favorites is Investopedia, the Fidelity app. That's mainly where I invest and have like my investment accounts and stuff like that, and where I do my trading, and they have a lot of resources, good educational information as well. And then also Trillionaire Mindset, which is a podcast, and it is hilarious and really makes it consumable and dumbs it down for you, and it's great. I've learned a lot from that. This is the most boring I've ever listened to. And then the fake clap track, stop. So we're gonna skip forward because Samar is just being a little buffer and then introducing people, and that's it.
Let's go.
Hey, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Drop some ones in the chat if you're hyped up. I know I'm hyped up. How is everybody doing today? So a little bit about me, guys, before I get started with what it is that I want to break down for you guys today. My name is Sabrina. I'm 24 years old. A little bit over 2 years ago, I was honestly your average girl. A lot of you guys hopefully are going to be able to relate to me because I was just this girl that would go to school full time, and I was working a full-time job at the bank as a bank teller. And you know what happened to me? Why did I get started into the online world is because I started to be in this cycle where I wasn't happy. It wasn't enough for me. I was always running after my money, and I started thinking, how am I always running after my money if I work a full-time job? Right? And so that's when I was like, there's something that's not working on here. There's something, I'm not going to live the life that I want running after my paycheck like that. I don't know if some of you guys can relate, but I didn't want that. I have fancy taste. Okay. It wasn't it for me. What I'm trying to say is having a job is a good thing, but it can't be the only thing. Right. And so I started to think, how can I start making more money for myself based on my super busy schedule? Because I knew damn right, my only day off was Sunday. And so I started scrolling on TikTok, and I started seeing all of these people my age living a certain lifestyle. I was like, what? Who's going to put me onto this though? Because I want to live that life. I have the right. This is my birthright to have that type of success. Drop some amen in the chat if you believe you deserve more. Drop some amen in the chat if you think, right? Exactly. So I thought the same for me. And I was like, I need to find a way. And that's when I came across what I do today. And my life completely changed before I was able to hit a six-figure income. Me with no experience, coming from where I come from. Thank you, God, I must say. Right? So,
oh, Lord, I want to live that type of life. You mean the fake life that they are living on social media? Also, she said that she is 24 years old now, and that means that she, due to like what she just said, how she said that it was like 2.5 years ago when she joined an MLM. So that's real sad. And then also she said, this is my birthright to have this much success. No, it's not. What are you actually talking about? You're not like part of a prestigious bloodline. Like your birthright? Most of us don't have birthrights.
Drop some amen in the chat if you believe you deserve more. Drop some amen in the chat if you think, right? Exactly. So I thought the same for me, and I was like, I need to find a way. And that's when I came across what I do today. And my life completely changed before I was able to hit a 6-figure income. Me, with no experience, coming from where I come from. Thank you, God, I must say, right? So, you know, I'm guessing that if you guys are on this call today, it's because you are looking to elevate your life, right?
If you're on this call today, it's because you're looking to elevate your life. No, most of them are on the call because y'all told them to be on the call, because they're already on your team and in the company. Mostly all, I'd say it's a good 90, let's say 80%. Okay, we're gonna skip through this little part because I want to get to the part where she talks about experts sending her texts.
Trade ideas that are sent out by are experts. So there's literally experts that are being paid to be like this all day. And look at the charts, and they send me a text. So I don't have to be all day long. I could be on a yacht. I could be living my life in Miami, which I am.
Are they, is that them typing or sending a text, or is that them riding a horse? Like, what is she doing? What? It's important to understand that the prompts that they send out aren't like 100%. Like, you're not always going to make money on it. And that's anything with financial markets, with investing, with trading, anything like that. I mean, it's not always a guarantee. You do need to be wary, and you need to understand that. Just think about it longer than 5 minutes, please. And dig into it, ask them more questions. And if they get annoyed with you, or if they're like, well, I'm moving on to the next person, like clearly you don't want it, then be like, okay, fine.
On a yacht. I could be living my life in Miami, which I am, and all I gotta do is copy paste the alerts from these experts. Okay, you guys, this is exactly what I like to call leveraging. I leverage their expertise in something that I truly suck at. Okay, so that's an amazing product, you guys. No matter if you're busy, you can go on the go and just be back super quick, super efficient. Now another, which is a part of the education, are the live sessions with experts. Those are great because I'm usually, in my house, on my desk, alone, but then you go on Zoom with a bunch of other people, and literally the traders are on that call, whether educating us or calling out alerts. Okay, so you're literally like this. They put some music, sometimes some.
It's so comical that they're like really acting and pushing idea and this narrative that they really do make a lot of money in trading, when it's like, no, you make mostly all of your money from your downline. Like, that's very clear, that's very evident with how hard y'all push this. And the fact that most of these people on this call are already on their team, so it's really just like hyping them up to keep them on their team, like that's so sus, super sus. Also, we're almost an hour into this call. No mention of recruiting, no mention of it being a multi-level marketing company.
To get started, guys, we have different memberships that you can get started with to get tapped in with our platform. The first one, so there's 4, there's only truly 3, but there's only truly 2 that I recommend, okay, if you want me to be honest. So the first package, guys, that I usually recommend and I push because I got started with that one is the Elite membership. As you can see at the total right of the picture that I'm sharing with you guys right now, this membership allows you to get access to everything. You got the whole thing. It's literally, you have like a buffet that you get, and you get to choose which type of products and resources you want to use at your advantage, okay? And this one is the only package that will give you access to our amazing automation. That, again, stay on this call because my girl.
Now, there's someone in the chat who said, I have already lost $370. Like, you can lose that amount of money on your own. You don't have to join a pyramid scheme to do that.
And how it works, okay? So it's a one-time fee of $1,500 USD, and we have a monthly fee of $174 to keep using the services, guys. Because alerts, we receive them day in, day out. The calls, we receive them day in, day out. Okay, you know what I mean? Now, the second package that I usually like to recommend if you're not looking into the automation is the premium package. And why is that?
And then someone said name of the company again. Like, they clearly have not said the name of the company enough. And now I brought up the chat for y'all because it's hilarious. And a bunch of these people are saying facts, elite, 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 like I got elite. Then why are y'all on this call? You should already know all this. Like, why are you in here?
From home, or you work from home. Maybe you have more time in front of you to learn how to trade, to input the alerts, to join the live sessions with experts. So maybe the premium or the select could be a good package for you. Or maybe you're in a foreign country where the US dollar is a lot for you. So maybe the only package you can get started with right now is the choice, right? All you have to do is ask yourself, what do I need and what can I realistically do right now? And that will be your answer on which package you're going to be choosing. I started with the elite because I started as a full-time student. I was working a full-time job. So having the automation was just smart. It was just obvious. It wasn't even something that I was like, should I get it? Should I not get it? Because it was just obvious. You know what I'm saying, guys? So just make sure to really answer your needs when choosing.
Girl, you probably had to do that. You absolutely probably had to do that. That was probably the only option that Jasmine let you do, so that she could rank up faster. And because if y'all are buying that package, then it encourages your downline to buy that package too.
Answer your needs when choosing the packages, okay, you guys? So again, this platform really offers you access to tools, resources, and technology that you'll be able to use in your advantage to leverage that in the financial markets, to be able to create multiple streams of income for yourself and learn how to make, manage, and save your money. Now, that's not all, guys, because I want to bring up somebody that has been having a lot of success when it comes to the financial markets, when it comes to using the platform. So I'm going to call up in front of us. We're going to call my boy Mathieu. I'm going to put you on the spot. Hello, Mathieu. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
How are
Can you hear me?
Good,
I'm doing good.
We're happy to have you on. So
Thanks for having me.
I have some questions for you today. Okay, this is how we're going to be doing that. Could you please, in a minute, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you were before iGenius?
Before iGenius, honestly, I was nobody. I had an accident 12 years ago. I broke my neck. And then I started vegetating, like I was doing nothing. People wanted me to finish school. People wanted me to do this, do that. But I didn't feel like it. And one day I saw someone talking on Instagram about iGenius, and I said, why not?
They are exploiting this disabled man. They were very specific with, and this will come up later too, they were very specific with who they chose to have on this call. And you know, well, they were probably like, yeah, if this disabled guy who's foreign can do it, anyone can. That is so messed up.
Basically, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. And were you trading before iGenius?
No, the only thing I knew about financial markets was Bitcoin, Dow Jones, and that's it.
Okay, so how did you feel when you first got started? Was it a little overwhelming? Were you excited? How do you feel with all of that?
It was a mix of both, because it's literally like learning a new language. So at first, I was a bit desperate, but when I saw my friend posting a weekly result of $10,000, I was like, oh shit, I'm going all in.
That person's not your friend. That person's absolutely not your friend. Also, they must have been in a different area because, as we know, in the US, with most MLMs, you can't post your income. You can't make income claims. Now, with some MLMs, you can post your income if it's like true. But in a lot of MLMs, they make it so that you can't do any. Like, you cannot make any income claims, true or false, which is very interesting that they do that. I don't think that his friend that he's referring to, I don't think they were in the US. But then also it's interesting because it's like, how was your friend posting or making a profit of 10K every month, like, or every week? That doesn't really make sense because no like stock or, I mean, from what I can remember or even think of, like, nothing really goes up like that, like, and like that consistent, like that doesn't make sense. Unless he was in the, like, showing his, like, MLM income, then okay, like, if he has, like, a bunch of people under him, then yeah, but it's like, that doesn't really make sense because in most MLMs, especially, I mean, all of them really, they get paid their commission, like, once a month and then Fridays or whatever.
I love that. And what would you say were the platforms or the tools and resources that allowed you to learn how to trade? Like, which are your favorite products from iGenius right now?
Definitely, I did the university multiple times. I did the Market Pro multiple times. I did the Learn Live Academy multiple times. I did SK system multiple times. I tried to do as many as I could.
I love that. And could you please share some of your results with us today?
Sure.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, Drake is going to share them. We just wanted to make sure we get your permission. We see the whole screen, by the way.
Okay.
She's like, girl, we see the whole screen. We can see down there that it says clapping noise, that it says drum roll, and Jeopardy theme music. Also, the drum roll isn't like a drum roll like you would think. They did the wrong one at the end of the call. It's very strange. It is hilarious that they do not know how to share just certain windows. What are y'all doing? If you make a mistake a few times, okay, but tell you that's why I get nervous to Twitch stream and stuff, because I'm like, am I gonna type in you into my search engine and y'all are just gonna, something else is gonna pop up? That's spooky. Okay, so they're gonna go over his wins and losses and stuff, and I don't know, it's just interesting that it's okay, so he lost $800 and then lost $4 and then didn't make any money and then got almost 800, then lost. Also, keep in mind, it sounds like he has spent so much money on iGenius products themselves and doing things monthly. A lot of times when you're investing, and especially with this company, can definitely seem, with any MLM, it can seem like you're making more money than you are, and that's rough.
Knows where to go, where we gotta be, the directions. She knows how to throw it down and execute. So I want you guys to give it up for my girl Dramis.
We'd be lost without her. She knows how to throw it down and execute. Didn't y'all just lose half your downline? So is she doing her job that well? Doesn't sound like it.
Hello, beautiful people. Y'all know what I always say when I come on. How is everybody doing? Let me check the chat. Okay. Make sure y'all be sharing this link with everybody that you know, because we got Daniel G coming out after me. Okay. So we got some energy coming up. Some energy after y'all just got some energy. Okay. Thank you for the ones. Thank you for the ones, beautiful people. So before Daniel comes on, I want to quickly just share about my favorite product in iGenius. And the reason I'm sharing this one is because this is the one that I fell in love with when I first started. Because let me tell you, when I first started, I did not have any intentions whatsoever to learn how to trade. I was like, me in front of a computer, me analyzing charts, me sitting down in front of the computer. It's just not for me, baby. It's not. That's what I was saying. What Matthew does, he does. I admire so much, but I was like, oh, it's just not something that I would ever do.
It's so funny that they're always like, oh, she's so high energy. It's she's so great. But all she is just loud and obnoxious. You can be high energy. You can be engaging. You can be a very captivating speaker. And you don't have to be obnoxious and be yelling all the time. I don't think they understand that. I think they just think oh, well, let me scream at them, and that's how I'll get their attention. Also, I'm sorry, Dramis, what? Sandra? Her name is Sandra. When you first joined, you had no intention of trading. Then what were you gonna do? That's like saying you joined Money and you didn't have any intention of selling shampoo. So then you were just gonna be recruiting people then. That's a pyramid scheme.
Right, and so when I heard about iGenius and when I found out that there's something that is completely automated, I was like, hold on, wait a minute, because everybody could use this. I was like, even my own mom. Guys, my mom is using this product, okay? She just told me, does it work? Sandra, does it work? I said, yes, mom, it works. And she's like, okay, I'm going to send you my money, okay? And then I set up her strategy. So my mom is trading in the crypto market. She don't even know.
Trey, you recruited your mom? Are y'all that desperate? Get your mom off of that, please. Don't recruit your mommy. Don't recruit your immigrant mother who sounds, every time she talks about them, her parents, she's done a few videos where she's shown her parents and they just seem so sweet. Protect them at all costs, Dramis. Do not get them involved in your pyramid scheme.
Crypto market, she don't even know what Bitcoin is, okay? She don't even know what Bitcoin is. And that's why I fell in love with this, because when you first take a look at these markets, if you've never traded or you've never invested in crypto or Forex, or any of these markets, especially crypto, it's kind of scary because there's a whole unknown world. There's metaverses and stuff. There's people walking around in there. I'm just not really sure what exactly it is. And it's something on your, put up one in the chat if you agree with this. If it's something that's been on your to-do list, but then you just never got around to it. On my to-do list was okay, I need to learn how to figure out what this crypto stuff is about. So because I don't want to just throw my money. I want to know what I'm throwing my money into, right? So it was always on my to-do list. Like, okay, I need to learn crypto. I need to learn crypto. I need it. Every single time I would see a boom or people posting, I'm like, shoot, like I need to learn it, but I just didn't have the energy to. So when I heard about this product, I was like, boom, boom, it's easy. And y'all see right now, and what do you see when you log on to Instagram for the last week, bro? What do you guys see? Can you guys name it? Something with AI, okay? So we are partnered with a company called Endotech, and they are an artificial intelligence company. So they are AI, right? So what you guys see on Instagram when you log in is everybody posting their avatars like they're in the movie Avatar. You guys saw that? You guys seen that? Give me a yes in the chat if y'all be seeing those. And they're like this, and they're like this, and they're like this posing, and they're so mystical and magical. Some of them look crazy a little bit. They all look beautiful. I'm like, damn, everybody look pretty in the metaverse, right? So everybody do their avatars. That's artificial intelligence.
People just using Lenza, her AI generated art, no matter what one it is, that's not the metaverse. That's just AI generated art. She still has no idea what she's talking about. Their sales pitch constantly, first of all, hasn't changed over the last year, but their sales pitch has still been, you don't need to learn how to trade. This, service can do it for you. You don't have to. And the reason why I think that they do this is because you only get access to that if you get the elite package. So that's why they pitch that so much and build so much value on Endotech. And we're going to get to Endotech in a second. Don't you worry your beautiful little behind. But then these people who are in it and have been in it for over a year now have constantly said over the past year that they still don't know about it. So if you've been in the company for over a year, why would I want to join if you still haven't learned about it?
They dropped some photos of themselves, and artificial intelligence is creating art for you. I was actually at a crypto event this past weekend, and they talked about how artificial intelligence is taking over the art industry, right? Because so artificial intelligence is everywhere. Why not use it to make you some money? You know what I'm talking about? So what this is, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys a little bit of it. What this is basically a robot that does the trading for you. Okay, so instead of you actually manually trading, we can actually get a robot that's going to trade for you. I'm going to open it up. Hold on, let me reorganize my stuff over here. Okay. Okay, so let's go over here. It's called Endotech. Okay, it's called Endotech. This is a public website that you guys can go on. I'm circling right here. Endotech.io is a public website. Okay, so this is a third-party company. We do not own this company. This company is very prestigious and very expensive. Let me tell you. If you go to the page where you click start now, you will see that it typically costs $125,000 annually just to get access to the software.
Ragazzi, scusate.
Oh, hold on, I heard some audio. Okay, no, we good. So $125K, guys. If you live in Canada, that's a down payment. Okay, that's not even a house. That's a down payment. Okay, in America, maybe that's a house depending on where you live. But in Toronto, that's almost a down payment, okay? Just to use the software. So this is not even the money that you have to invest.
So multiple different sites say that Endotech takes a portion of the funds that you did to buy into it, or that you're putting into it, into your wallet in there, and then distributes a part of it to new users. And the founders of that company are the same founders of this other investing AI called Daisy AI. Now, Daisy AI, I guess, wasn't as popular, but unfortunately Endotech is gaining more traction, and I think it is because people like the WFABB ones are really leading with that in regards to their sales pitch, and it's a huge chunk of it. Now, if you go onto the Endotech website, it's trying to legitimize itself or give itself more credibility than it actually has by showing oh, we have all these partners, all these super credible partners that you've probably heard of before, which one of them was FTX, which is funny because it's we see where that went. A list of exchanges offering the free public API so that you can automate your trade. Basically saying oh, my business is a partner with Google just because you have a Google email address, or that's the email hosting you use, or saying that your business is approved by YouTube, or backed by YouTube or Google because you have a YouTube channel. That's not how that works. Just because you have hosting on something doesn't mean that you're approved by that or backed liked by them, and that doesn't give you extra credibility. And it's pretty misleading and deceitful to say so. Back to Endotech though, they are unlicensed, unregulated, and also blacklisted in certain countries. Now we have Daniel G coming on, and this man gives me such big I wear lifts in my shoes energy. Yeah, also I don't know why, but I really think that him and Dramus, I think it's because he calls her Sandra, and he like mentions her like multiple times, like more than anyone else. He mentions her a lot when he's talking. I don't know why, but it made me like so happy. It made me think that like he has like a little crush on her. How cute would they be together? How cute would they be? Like take like the scam aspect out of it. I was like, Daniel, you're not ever gonna watch this, and neither are you, Dramus, but like I need you two to get together, please, because that would be, I don't know why, I just think they would be like so cute together. I see it. It's gonna happen. It should happen. Y'all should be together.
Going and going and going. It doesn't matter if we're at a convention for 14 hours. He brings that energy all through those 14 hours. His birthday was literally the other day, guys. I need you to drop some happy birthdays in the chat for Mr. Daniel G. Let's drop some happy birthdays. Let's celebrate him.
Whoa, team. Thank you, Samar. Thank you. What's up? Wow, all the birthday love. I'm getting more happy birthdays here than I did get on my own birthday. What's up? Hey, so can I just dive right into this or what? Am I good? Can I just dive right in?
Yeah, go right in.
Boom! What's up, family? Hey, listen, if this is your first time ever hearing me, first, I got like 15, 20, 30 minutes here. So I'm not going to bore you guys with a 4, 5, 10, 20, 30-minute story. This is how I started. This is where I am. I'm making millions, blah, blah, blah. I always say this, okay? At the end of whatever I'm done, you guys can put the story towards me. Like, your skill sets should always outride the shit that comes out of your mouth. The story, anybody could say they sold millions and billions and trillions of dollars. At the end of the day, people expect you to do what? Show up, show us, help us. Nobody gives a shit about what you have. They give a shit about what you could give them, which basically goes into today's talk, because today's talk is all about personal branding, right? So drop 100 in the chat if you guys want to learn how I built up, a massive personal brand inside of the sales space. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the world that comes close into personal branding in the sales space than myself.
No one tell Jessie Lee Ward that he just said that. She's gonna get so mad.
I've traveled the world in the last 2 years with my personal brand. Has obviously allowed me to go on the road and keep my momentum high. I was probably the highest traveling speaker in sales in the last 2 years from my personal brand. And that all started off. So let me give you guys the doubts here. I see a lot of hundreds in the chat. So let's start off like this. Limiting beliefs about a personal brand.
I see a bunch of hundreds in the chat. Yeah, from like the same 6 people. I put the chat on the screen for a reason so that y'all could see that it's all the same people and all people who are clearly in WFABB or iGenius. But like, it's so wild. Why are you in there? This isn't for you. This is for them to recruit new people.
There's a lot of people in here that are like, oh, I can't build a personal brand because this, I can't build a personal brand because that, I can't build a personal brand because this, blah, blah. Well, let me just knock it off. Every time you want to look at somebody that is successful, go look at the limiting belief that you have inside of your own head. So if you're like, well, I can't become successful because of this, then go look at a millionaire that has done it that had your exact same disbelief. Let me say it again. So if your disbelief is, I can't become successful because, I live in this area, I'm going to show you a millionaire in that area. So the limiting belief that is holding you back.
That's not completely wrong. And again, even with him, like there's not like, it's not that what they're saying is like completely incorrect, but it's just, they say stuff and it's like, no shit. Daniel G is what Jessie Lee is trying to become, or in my mind, like, in my opinion, wishes she was right now, because he brands himself as like a sales trainer or like a sales speaker, and he hasn't pigeonholed himself just into network marketing. And I feel like that's what she wants to do, but then also like what she's having a problem getting out of, for sure. And I think that you're taken more seriously if you are a sales trainer instead of just like an MLM trainer, like an MLM person. All of this is the most nonsensical, high energy, tough love, overhyped, obvious bullshit that is just like the most cut and dry thing. But you like, clearly, yes, for your sales to be good, and especially if you are like a one-woman show or whatever, right? And you are, whether it's network marketing, sales, whatever, you have to promote yourself, obviously, unless you work for like a normal company that does that for you, and then you just get leads. But if you are self-employed, yes, you have to market yourself. Obviously, it's great to build a personal brand on social media and have yourself stand out, and have people gravitate towards you, and they're more likely to buy something from you than someone else because they like you and your personality, and you're not just like cut and dry in a copy of someone else, right? It's not just sales, it's also marketing and promoting yourself is going to drive sales clearly, obviously.
I could show you somebody that has made millions off the limiting belief that is holding you back, but they still became successful. I can't become successful because my ears are too big. My ears are too small. I'll show you somebody with big ears and small ears. I'm too tall, I'm too short. Show you somebody that's short, show you somebody that's too tall. So every single excuse that you have that you can't become successful, I guarantee you I can find you guys somebody that has became successful with the exact same excuse that you have that's holding you back, number one. Number two, I would also say this. It has never been, first of all, okay, to knock off some of the things. I can't start a personal brand because I don't have a cameraman and I don't got a studio like Daniel. I don't got this, I don't got that. Go back 3 years ago.
Someone said in the chat, I think I don't know if they're self-aware or if they're not, or if they're a commentary creator, but they said, I can't become successful because there's a 0.01% chance that this business makes any actual money. I think because they put business in quotations that they are a commentator who's trolling. There's a bunch of them in here. Like most of them are commentators.
It's easier to stay faithful than it is to cheat. So much easier. So why am I saying this? Because if you just figure out, by the way, wait, let me give you guys some core things here about a personal brand. When you, because you have to ask yourself this, whoever is showing up online right now, you don't want to look at your stories after the end of the day and you're like, shit, that's not even me. I would never buy from me. Some of you guys seem way too clean cut. Would you buy from yourself? People buy from people that are what? I like them. So are you even yourself? Too many of you guys are, like a robot getting into a, no. Okay, so now let's dive into it. Personal branding. The first thing it does is this, okay? Number one, it builds trust. It's a given. Number one, it builds trust. Why? It's the invisible line that nobody sees, and it's the marathon of your brand. So there's a big difference if you want to write this down. Marketing is to generate sales. Personal branding is to do one thing. It builds trust. Nobody ever sees the personal branding. So it's the marathon game. So don't think that you're going to post on Instagram for 6 days and then somehow get a sale. That's not what personal branding is all about. Personal branding is the trust line that nobody ever sees. So it's you showing up for 2 years. So when you have to go sell, it makes sales a lot easier. The higher your branding is, the easier marketing and sales becomes. So whatever you want to sell, Chanel on this call wants to sell bikinis. Mark on this call wants to sell a tattooing service. Somebody on this call wants to sell Forex education. Whatever it is that you sell, sales become so effing easy when your brand is strong and it's high. That's it. Why do I have to focus on sales if I poured so much attention on marketing and branding? Not even marketing. Marketing becomes easy at branding because marketing is a call to action. If branding's good, I don't have to sell my shit. Go back on my page. Why do I have to give you my story? Go back on my page. Daniel, why should I hire you? I did a bad job. If you're asking why you should hire me as a salesperson, I did a fucking bad job. That's my fault. I did a horrible job at branding. Every time somebody says something like that, I say it's not convincing them as to why they should hire me. It's how the fuck do I be more omnipresent to the fact where they never even have to ask that question. Dude, I need you here, here, and here. What's the cost? That's it. So, number one, because think of sales. It's super difficult. You guys know I'm the sales guy. It is so hard to sign somebody up or make somebody buy your shit if your brand is weak. Why? Well, watch the whole trajectory, right? It's hard to close if what? If you can't show somebody your product. Oh, but we have the best product in the world. Nobody's watching you. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, but my online store is the best. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at it, so nobody cares. I'm the best close in the world. Dude, you talked to 2 people this week. Doesn't matter how good you are at closing. Nobody gives a shit because you don't have attention on your brand. We have the best product in the world. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. I am not the best trainer in the world.
Was that me whistling? What just happened? No, I disagree and agree with what he's about to say, because he's saying like, I'm not the best trainer in the world, but my branding is really good. So therefore what he's trying to say is that people are then going to see him more and see him as more credible than someone that they like don't even know about, or someone who doesn't have like a good personal brand and like their social media right? So there's that facade aspect of it of like, oh, well, I've built my personal brand, but it's like, no, you've faked it. You haven't actually built up an audience. It's an army of bots that you have that aren't actually customers of yours, so it doesn't even count. But you have this facade and you're faking it to make yourself look more credible. It's so wild. It's so wild. Be careful out there because there are some scammers out there. Now, this is when people start to come into the chat and say things like, this is a scam. And then Karina saying things like, but like, why do I have to work on branding if the robots are trading for me and they make me money while I sleep? It's a solid question. And then she said, how do we get an LLC? How do we file taxes? So I just skipped through the rest of what he was saying because it was boring. Let's be honest. They did record this. I'm sure they put it somewhere. And y'all know I'm never someone who will like skip through stuff. I don't like editing and like taking parts out of Zoom calls or anything like that because I don't want it to seem like I'm taking things out of context or anything like that. I'm not at all. Like, what could they have possibly said? Like, disclosed everything? No, I wish they would do that, but they don't. If you want to watch a 3-hour version of this, you know what, I'll upload it to Google Drive and I'll have it linked below. Actually, no, if you want to watch the full version of it, go to Dee's channel, go to hers, and I'll have hers linked down below because they did a live stream. She was in there, Karina, I think Julie Joe, and Erin were as well. Bianca, I think, too. So if you want to go watch the entire thing, go do that. But I'm just trying to make it more consumable and entertaining for you. And of course, we are almost 2 hours in and still no mention that iGenius is a multi-level marketing company and no mention about recruiting whatsoever.
Bring up our leaders to put some recognition and give people their flowers who deserve it, because a lot went into this. Okay, so before our next amazing speaker, we're going to do some quick recognition, give people their flowers. They did so much hard work, so much efforts in order to make this event happen. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our amazing leaders, Jasmine, Dre, and Sabrina. Ladies, come on and take it away.
Hey. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Yo, the pins will get together like this. Take a boomerang. I love that.
I cannot with the fake clapping. Like, it's just so funny. The great part is that like they're not even doing it to be funny. Like I've had Ethan put in like a laugh track or like a audience clap track like a few times. It's like funny, but I feel like they're not like doing it to be funny. They're doing it to add to like the like webinar thing, like as if this is in person, like as if they are in front of like they're doing it seriously.
Some recognition. Let me just get it ready on the screen. Okay, we are going to be doing some recognition for everybody that helped us put this amazing event together. Sam, you want to tell them a little bit about it? Okay, so guys, we've had people that literally were working their ass off to make this event possible, guys. This, I want you to understand, that is not just of us effort. It's we all did that together, guys. If it wasn't for all of it's a teamwork. And if it wasn't for every single one of these people that we're going to recognize right now, this event wouldn't have been possible. So we must, before we end this call, we must recognize them as it is due. Okay, you guys? So let's get started. Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, so recognition time, everybody. Now, what order? Smaller to bigger? So we're gonna start, okay, by recognizing all of the people that qualify for the X200. Okay, so we got my girl Aurelie. We have our girl Summer. We got my girl Frances. We got my girl Sally. We got my girl Gigetta. We got the one and only Jennifer. We have Fred, Emily, two Emily's, girl, Christy, and Cassie, guys. Please drop some ones in the chat. Drop some 200 in the chat for the X200 qualifiers. Let's go. Next up, Now, okay, so X200 was, but now we elevating the bar a little bit. We elevating the work ethic on here. Okay, so we're gonna shout out all of the people that qualify for the X500. So drop some 500 in the chat for Leticia, for Debbie, Paulina, for Melissa, for Yasmin, for Alexandra, for Ipifan, for Cassandra, for Ashley, and Jocelyn. And now, hey guys, you gotta be ready for these ones because they've been working overnight, okay? They've been working day in, day out, okay? And they qualified for the X1000.
There's literally nothing on the interwebs that says anything about X200. Like, that's not even what your ranks are called. Like, there's influencer executives, platinum executives, global executives, diamond executive, ambassadors, platinum ambassador, diamond ambassador, presidential ambassador, crowns, legends, star legend, royal legend, and then crown legend. So, like, what are you actually talking about? All right, let's get back to the girlies. So basically, they're just doing like this recognition bullshit. Those people probably haven't made any money. And then this girl Charlie starts talking, and I think she's German, but she has a pretty heavy accent. It's one of the accents where, like, the longer you listen to her, yes, you will understand her, but I don't want to. And she doesn't say anything of value at all. One thing that is really impressive is, like, her English is okay. It's good. It's all right. There's people who that's their first language, and that they speak worse than her. That when she first met Charlie like a year ago, she didn't speak any English. Like, that is so fascinating to me and so impressive. If you speak 2 languages, that's why whenever anyone is like, oh, pardon my English, like, it's not my first language, I'm like, you're amazing. Like, you're so smart. Almost 2 hours into the call, people start saying, this is a scam, don't join, run. So I really hope that people were able to see those messages, like new people, and not join. Like, yeah, it's fun to, you know, mess around with them and try to sabotage their conference or their webinar, but also I really do, and Karina said that earlier today too. Was it Karina or Eliza? I can't remember who it was, but I really do hope that people were able to see those messages and like kind of second guess and be like, oh goodness, okay, well let me look into it further and not just trust what this person who's trying to take my money is saying. Oh my god, this girl talks forever. Why are you talking for so long? Oh, also, they disabled the chat at this point because the people kept saying that it's a scam, and I guess they just couldn't combat it fast enough.
Yeah, so something about Charlie, guys, let me tell you, when I met her, she knew not a word of English, and look at her now, thriving in her online business and Forex trading and just investing overall, and she's, like we said, top 5 in WFABB. So let's give it up for Charlie, you guys, because she is someone to look up to and learn from because she came a very, very long way. Okay, so the next person we have up.
Okay, we got one more. Who's gonna give you some value. Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay. So we got one more Dynasty Queen. Are you guys ready? We can see your comments. Okay, we can see your comments. We got one more Dynasty Queen, and her name is Mark.
They just start screaming so loud that it's a note that only a dog can hear. Trigger warning, this girl's story is real sad.
This together, everybody who gave us what we needed in order to make this event happen. You guys, there's something that's been really on my heart lately, and it's kind of what I want to speak to you guys about. I heard this quote recently, and it has stuck with me ever since. And listen, if you're not the same faith, that's okay. Whatever your creator, or the universe, whoever it is, it's all good. I heard this quote that said, your story and your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is God's gift back to him. And that really resonated with me because we all have stories. Like, we may all have the same iPhone. We may all have the same car, maybe the same bed. I don't know, same thing. But we all have different stories. And people always forget that it's so powerful. How many of us have seen, like, we've all seen superhero movies. We've all seen it. We've all seen Spider-Man. We've all seen it. They have a story, and their story, they use their story to propel themselves into something great. And really, friends, like, few people realize that they're meant for greatness. Everybody has greatness inside them, and very few realize it. Fewer people realize it and then do something with it. Very few people do that, friends. Do not let your story or the fear or the pain behind your story keep you from doing something great. It was given to you for a reason. And don't get me wrong, friends, our stories sometimes come with a lot of pain, a lot of fear. If you were like me, you came from an abusive background. You came from, being abandoned. You came from all of a sudden having to take care of a family and moving out of your childhood home in 2 weeks because a judge ordered it.
All right, so she said, you are that millionaire. I mean this with peace and love. No, you're not. And the vehicle that's not gonna get you there is iGenius. Especially because of how many people you would have to recruit to become a millionaire in that company, and how many people are left on the earth, and how many people there are already in the company. So no, you're not going to become a millionaire in that. You can only use so much money, and you really only need so much money to be able to live a happy life. You don't need to be a millionaire. You really just, you don't. In the chat, the K person is still going. I don't know how they haven't gotten kicked out, but they said this is garbage. And then, like I said before, it's the same 4 or 5 people who are typing all the ones to try to make it so that no one can see that this is garbage. This is a scam. These people are taking advantage of others.
Time success comes before work is in the dictionary, friends. Other than that, you gotta work for it. You gotta work for it like your life depends on it. And that's what I did with this. Don't get me wrong, friends. My hand, I can't feel it sometimes, but it's all good. It was so worth it. And I'm telling you right now, friends, your stories,
I'm telling you right now, friends, team, fam, we're so close. Family, why would I lie to you? You're my friend, you're my team, you're my family. Who makes money off of their family? Unless you're legitimately in business together. That's different. Obviously, that's the exception, not the rule. Always have people in my comments, well, actually, stop. Clearly, that's not what I'm talking about. Sometimes I can't feel my hand. Why? Then stop. You're clearly working too much. Does your hand hurt from touching your phone? Do your thumbs hurt? Put your phone down then. Come on. Your body is telling you that you're doing too much.
Now, friends, your stories, and I wish I knew you guys knew how powerful they are. And while everybody has a different one, your story is someone else's survival guide. Your story is what someone else is going to hear and realize, I can do that. I can do that. Just like Daniel Lee said, show me somebody from here and show me the millionaire. That's you. You are that millionaire from that place. You are that millionaire from, an abusive background. You are that millionaire.
I'm clearly being too literal, but also no, you're not. To a point, yeah, use it as inspiration that, well, if they could do it, I could do it too. I have a similar story. I can do it too. But you have to be self-aware and understand that people have different backgrounds, strengths, skills, timelines, time in general, different networks, different advantages and disadvantages further than just, this one thing that you have in common with them. And then also luck. Luck has so much to do with being successful, and not enough people talk about that. Obviously, yes, hard work. Many times hard work isn't enough. And we've seen that in multi-level marketing companies. Hard work isn't enough, especially when the thing that you're working at is a broken system. You're not going to, see results at the gym if you're using all the machines wrong or having horrible form. You're going to have weird lumps. All right, so we're fast forwarding to Emily. She's, I guess, pretty popular on Instagram. She's also pretty cringy, but what she says is pretty culty. Yeah, we're still going to do it at 1.25 speed.
I am so blessed to be here. I'm so honored to be working alongside of all the ladies here that are leading this movement and all the other speakers. And I just want to acknowledge you right now, wherever in the world that you are. If you're in Italy, if you're in the US, I'd love to see in the chat actually where you are tuning in from. And let's get the party started, shall we? Let's get it started. I also want to know, how long have you been involved in being an entrepreneur, being in network marketing? How long has it been? I'm reading the chat right now. 9 months. Okay, 1 year, a couple years. Okay, let's get real. 1 year. I've got some newbies in the house. And so, I was praying here this morning after my workout, and I was saying, God, what do you want me to give? What do you want me to give to that person right now that's listening to this from their home? What do you want me to give to this person that's pulling into their driveway? What do you want me to give to the person that's staying up through the night just to listen to this talk because they're in a different country? What do you want me to give to the person that's just been praying for a solution? They've been praying to just fight through, and maybe they have the solution. They're praying for the courage to actually activate it. What do you want me to give? And I had this drop in, and then I'm gonna get spiritual audio. So like, it's just who I am, and I credit all my success to it. I wouldn't be standing here multi-million.
Someone changed their name to Jessie Lee Warren. It said, are they getting wish trophies like the brooches that you guys had on the reality show with the horrible audio? Karina, I love you so much. I'm gonna have Karina's channel linked down below too. She's so funny. This is supposed to be a call about digital dynasty, about investing, about and making money online. Why are you making it about Jesus? Like, okay, if that's something that is important to you, all right. Bulldogs and family and my spirituality and health and all that is important to me, but I'm not gonna, like, there's a time and a place, and it's just so highly inappropriate. I started to think when I was watching this, like, how many atheists or, or Jewish people or, Muslims, anyone who doesn't believe in Jesus is the son of God or whatever, the Messiah, how uncomfortable do you think those people get on these types of calls? And then I was like, who am I kidding? There's probably like hardly any non-believers, any atheists or, anyone else who isn't a Christian, non-Christians, let's just say, in these types of MLMs. And if they are, they probably feel very isolated, very pushed out. That is so inappropriate. With any other job, any other like business networking, imagine that you feel pushed out because you're not Christian. That's an HR issue for sure. It really grinds my gears. I don't want anyone to feel like marginalized or pushed out or isolated or anything like that just because their beliefs don't line up with like exactly what someone else wants them to believe. I mean, freedom of speech, obviously I'm a big advocate for that. Not for hate speech, that's for God, sure. But then also for, freedom of religion, meaning worship whatever you want. It's just really frustrating. And this MLM specifically is like, Monate was already super Jesus-y, but this one is becoming more so like that, and it's really gross and it's really unfortunate. I hate to even say it, but they could probably recruit more people if they would stick to actually what the company does instead of talking about Jesus.
Multi-millions of dollars later, if it wasn't because of it. So I'm going to tell you the truth here today because I believe that God rewards the truth. But the first thing I was told to tell you is my story. And the reason is because you see the glory, right? You see the accolades, you see the Instagram followers, multiple businesses I have. I'm literally in a quick transition place right now before I move in to my next dream home because my show is filming here in LA. And so many things have transpired, but what you don't see and what you don't know was the day that I said yes. The day that I said yes to network marketing, the day that I said yes to a better way, the day that I said yes to bigger opportunity, the day that I said yes.
She talks still like really slow. So I'm bumping it up to 1.5 speed just to see like if it's doable.
I've been actually following them, like literally following them and saying, what do I do? Teach me your ways, show me how to do it, I'll do it. The day that I said yes was when I was 23 years old, flat broke, sleeping on a mattress on the floor in Minnesota. Okay, I was a massage therapist. I was a nanny to 4 boys. I worked every hour in the day that you could work, but I still paid my rent and I had nothing to show for it. Nothing. But I was working hard. Okay, and I was trying new things. It wasn't that I wasn't trying. I was searching. I'm like, there's got to be a way. I was competing in fitness on the side. You don't get paid for that, by the way. You just get crazy. That's a whole other story. Okay, I was trying everything until someone had the courage to share with me a better way. Now, it didn't happen straight away.
Why are you literally a broken record? Until someone had the courage. Okay, what are you doing right now? Like that was not me editing. What are you doing, ma'am?
It didn't happen straight away. And I want you to think about this as you go out there and prospect, and you go out there and make new connections, and you go out there and make new friendships, and you go out there and cultivate relationships. Because this is the relationship business. Somebody met me at an LA Fitness, which is a cheap gym. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now. No offense, it's a cheaper gym. Okay. In Minnesota. She met me at a women's workout on a Sunday afternoon. And she said, hello, and shook my hand and added me on Facebook. And that was a divine appointment. That was a divine appointment. I want to know right now, like, did any of you have divine appointments to be here? Have any of you had divine appointments in your life? Maybe when you met the love of your life, maybe when an opportunity came into your lap. I call that a divine appointment. Now, sometimes the appointment doesn't blow up right away. It doesn't transfer right away. This is what happened. For almost 9 months, I watched her. I Facebook crept her. And I had no idea she was in one of the greatest professions in the world, one of the fastest growing professions in the world called network marketing. I just knew that she was doing what I wanted. She was wearing yoga pants at noon on a Monday. She was designing her day. She was at the pool in the middle of winter. You know what winter is. You know, you want to get away from that, right? She was with women that actually looked like they liked each other, that actually looked like they actually gave a damn, that actually supported each other. And I could tell that she did something in health and wellness, but I didn't know. I crept her, just like people are creeping on you right now.
So that means that the person never said what they did on social media or like wasn't forthcoming with you. That should be a red flag. Doing that, being able to work anywhere, going on vacation, stuff like that, like you could just be self-employed or just have a like fully remote job that has a super flexible schedule. I'm not saying that like you can't form real relationships or like you can't, you know, anywhere where you work, you know, that you can't have like actual good friendships. I mean one of Tony's or actually 2 or 3 of Tony's best friends, he's met through work, and they just happen to like live closer to us, so we do still see them a good bit even though they don't work together anymore.
All been given great gifts, spiritual gifts, the gift of leadership, the gift of organization, the gift of vision, the gift of love, the gift of generosity. And sometimes you hoard it. You hoard your gifts. But she didn't do that. She showed her vision. She showed that she was building something. And she tried. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5 times, not 6 times, but 7 times tried to get me to take a look. 7 times. She even sent me samples. I don't even do samples, but she did that, okay? She sent me samples. She came with me to church. We got together for workouts. She invited me to opportunity meetings like this. And I said, no, I can't. I'm busy. Meanwhile, I watched her. Meanwhile, she cultivated a relationship with me. Meanwhile, all hell finally broke loose. And I had that moment where I didn't believe in myself anymore. I didn't believe in anything anymore. I didn't believe in people, quite frankly. I've been let down. I've been burned. I've been lied to. I've been cheated on. I've been stole from. All the things. I know I sound like a victim right now, but I'm getting somewhere. I had that moment, that Jesus take the wheel moment, where it's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I was at a crossroads. And I thought, maybe that girl, Holly is her name. I said, maybe she's like onto something. Maybe she's right. Maybe I should just call her. So get this. She's trying to recruit me 7 times over. And I'm like, maybe I should just call her. So I called her. After I ended a horrendous relationship, I didn't know if to turn left, to turn right. Some of you, if you can relate to me, maybe it's the relationship thing, the job thing, drop a 1 in the chat. If you just had that gut-wrenching moment where you're like, something's gotta give. Something's gotta give. So I called her and I said, hey, is your company hiring? Could you put in a good word for me? Is your company hiring? Do you think maybe you could like hook a sister up? And we all know our companies are always hiring, right? But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And she appeared and she said, meet me at this coffee shop in Minneapolis and we will sit and have a proper meeting. This may or may not be for you, but if it is for you and you want to do this, and I don't mean just kind of want to do it, but you want to do it, I'll give you a year.
It's interesting. I didn't realize that she was in iGenius, and then it looks like she started her own company. I'm very confused by her Instagram. And then it says like she has her own show, and it's like, is it just like a self-funded podcast? Because that's what it looks like.
I'll give you a year of my time, and we will work together to build a legacy business, and we will work to have a life that most only dream of. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm asking, are you ready? And I said, okay. Oh my God, this is amazing. Divine appointment, another divine appointment. So we meet up. I'm 23 years old, an employee-minded individual, a victim mindset, half the time individual. Woe is me individual. And I get shown the plan. 7 times a charm, baby. That is the day that changed my life forever. I didn't have G-Wagons. I didn't have Bentleys. I didn't have multiple businesses. I didn't have teams of hundreds of thousands. I hadn't gone anywhere out of the country. I hadn't traveled and spoken in Australia. I hadn't opened orphanages in Africa. My mind couldn't fathom that. And I tell you this because some of your minds can't fathom what God's about to do in your life with the power of you actually getting out of your own way. I tell you this right now. I said yes. And I want to highlight
this first year of saying yes, because it was the most fun and exhilarating, but also the hardest year of my entire life in terms of believing in myself, in terms of breaking generational curses, in terms of now having a completely different mindset, in terms of learning how to sell. Yes, we are in sales, the greatest profession, the highest paid skill in the world is sales. I had to learn new habits. I had to learn to get up early and do my affirmations and do my gratitudes when I literally slept on a mattress on the floor. I had to learn all of it, just like you are going through it. I said no to spring breaks. I said no.
Do you think they know just like how excruciating this is for me? They even said at the end of the call, Jasmine and the other ones, they're like, and round of applause to you haters because y'all put in the work and you better get to editing because we just gave you another paycheck. And it's like, first of all, that's not how it works. I have to film the video first. You idiots. I've spent I've watched this twice now. This has taken up so much time. Please, for the love of God, like and comment on this video. Please engage with this video. Please share it. Do something with it. This is exhausting. I think it's funny that she said, is your company hiring? I mean, clearly it shows that she didn't know that it was an MLM. So the person deceived her for almost a year.
However, I believe you'd be great at it. Would you be open to meeting me? And that one meeting has changed not only my life financially, her life financially, but thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of others. But it took one freaking second of courage to reach out, because we all have those people on our list, do we not? That we feel they're a little more influential than you, that it's a kind of a chicken list, right, if you will. And that those are the people that will actually change your organization. And she said, why didn't you tell me earlier about this? Why didn't you invite me earlier to this? Why didn't you explain what this was earlier about this? I'm telling you right now, the future favors the bold. So most amateur network marketers, most amateur business people, they're waiting. They're waiting. They're posting, they're praying, they're waiting. They're not going out and getting it. And it's like, if you want to have that mindset, you will be one of the mediocre people in this profession. And there's a lot of them. You'll never make it to the top. You won't hit top rank. I'm just being honest. It takes a tremendous amount of go-get-itness, right? Of actually keeping the main thing the main thing. You have to manage your focus. Because these calls, social media, all that supports your business. It does not grow your business. You hear me now? It supports your business. It doesn't grow your business. So in changing my mindset, in doing the main things, what I did is I condensed timeframes, because I quickly realized, just observing, I just observed. I was like, I would go to convention and I'm like, these people talk a lot, but they don't do. And I'm like, if this is a numbers game, people are not numbers, it is a numbers game, then let me just put in more numbers. Because I honestly feel like people are half-assing this. I'm truly, I'll be like, well, how many meetings did you do today? How many meetings did you do this week? Like, you're not even giving yourself the actual opportunity to get good. I mean, God, I would ask people, I'm like, well, how many meetings did you do this past week? Oh, like 3, like 4. I got Aunt Sally next week, you know? And I'm like, well, okay, watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. I'm about to pass y'all's. And I mean that in the most loving of ways, because I just looked at the metrics and I'm like, if I can condense timeframes and reach out to people and go faster, success loves speed. And people would rather join me because it's going to be a winning team. There's going to be energy. There's going to be frequency. There's a frequency to your business. Business is cellular. Business is spiritual. And I'm like, let's go. I'm going to tell the story about how I am going to blow out some legs here. All right. And if you know compensation plans, you know what I'm talking about. And that is how I became the youngest millionaire in my company at 26. I hope a bajillion people pass me. But that was the new standard of excellence for me. That was the standard of excellence. And I would look at this like slow and steady wins the race talk. Listen, I'm as healthy as they can be. I'm a health nut. But when I look at that, I'm like, that's just an excuse because you're scared. Like, it makes you feel good. Be careful who makes you feel good all the time, because they will sabotage your success. Absolutely 100%, 10 times over. So not only did I do meetings and I gained the skills from doing, people always ask, how did you gain confidence? How did you become unapologetic about network marketing? You know, and I studied it. I had enough proof that this thing works in any company, any company, any company. All I got to worry about is, are they going to pay me on time? Are they going to ship out the products? Or are they going to come up with the systems and services? And that's really all I'm concerned about. Everything else is up to me. Everything else is up to me. So what is my self-image? What is the thoughts about myself? What is the feelings about myself? How can I believe bigger in myself? Because you are never going to outperform your self-image. I'll say that one more time. You are never going to outperform your own self-image. So you can do meetings all day. You can have a great month, but you're probably not going to keep it. You can bring in people, but you're probably not going to be able to lead them, because you're never going to outperform your own self-image. What's your self-image like? What's your self-image like? Do you love yourself? I know this is cheeseball deluxe right now, but this is real talk. Because if you don't love yourself, if this whole thing isn't for something greater than she, me, then what is all this worth?
So what I'm hearing her say is you don't love yourself, then you're not going to be good at this job or good at sales. Listen, I've known some pretty insecure and unhappy people who are great at sales. I think this is something that they, the ominous they, will try to push more and more self-development and self-help and self-improvement, all that, so that if someone's not doing well, that they can just fall back on that and be like, oh, well, are you doing your self-improvement?
All this worth? What, you know, you're going to get it, lose it, not be able to sustain it, not be able to steward it. It's got to be something greater than yourself. And I'll be straight with you. The first year, oh, girlfriend wanted to be her own boss, right? Of course. I'd be lying if it wasn't true. But after a while, I had to learn to die to myself every day and be a sacrifice for other people. Sometimes we are so fearful because it's all about us. You won't take the mic because it's all about you. You won't make the call because it's all about you. You won't take the lead and do the meeting, and you're relying on your upline or you're relying on somebody else because you're so in your head. And I want to give you permission right now, permission to get out and do the damn thing. Listen, I came in and I thought that person was going to mentor me. I thought that person was going to like wake up in the morning. She was going to bring me my Java time. And it was going to be like, okay, where's your list? Who are you reaching out to today, Emily? Okay. All right. Now it's time for our manifestation session. Let's turn on our little CD-ROM. Back then it was CD-ROMs. Let's turn on our okay. Now we're going to do our affirmations. Okay. I am a millionaire. I am. Okay. All right. Did you do your follow-ups today? Who are you following up with? Who are you inviting to the big event? Oh my gosh. All right. How close are you to hitting top rank? Oh, you should really rent out a hotel room. I think it's time. No, I didn't have anybody doing that. You probably don't either. It's a fantasy. Nobody does. We must do it ourselves. What happened was she got in a relationship. She moved away. Yeah, this really happened. We did a few meetings together, but then she vanished. And I had a choice. Do I want to keep going? Or do I want to do another victim dance and a victim story? Oh, my upline left me. Oh my gosh, they said they were going to do and be all these things, and they are not doing all these things. They said they were going to bring in people and put them on. They're not doing and I had a real choice. And it was the greatest gift that has ever been given to me, was not having 24/7 support, not even having like weekly support. It was the greatest gift. Why? Because it made me take ownership. And when you take radical responsibility and you act and you work like you own the company, oh, watch out. Watch out. You learn more. You do more. Think about it. If someone leaves your life, if you were in a relationship and like your spouse or someone used to do everything for you in some kind of way, maybe the car's problems, maybe taxes, what else do dudes do? You know, all the things, right? When they leave, you're like, oh, I have to figure this out now. No, you get to figure this out. And now you learn and have a completely different level of understanding. And that's what happened to me. And I quickly realized that this was the greatest gift.
It sounds like you just joined a pyramid scheme. Oh, wait, no, she's not actually talking about a spouse leaving. She's talking about her upline not like supporting her. It's also, I don't know, it's weird then when they say stuff like that. Like, obviously, yeah, you shouldn't rely on someone like that heavily. You should be self-reliant and independent to a point.
And ignorant people that don't get it, okay, they're the ones that poo-poo it. But I will tell you, I speak to multimillionaires, billionaires, people that exited companies for 400 million, you know, lots of really just intelligent people. And most everyone got their start in network marketing. Okay. They've helped people.
She's about to say some of the most ignorant bullshit right now or something like that. And it's like, well, no, because that's what you are. That's what your network is. I don't know. I think it's an overgeneralization. That's just gross and doesn't make sense. Like, I do get it. It's sales. Completely understand it, not ignorant to it, because ignorance means that you don't understand it. That's what that means. Or that you don't know enough about it. Well, guess what? I do, and I do. And I still don't like it. It's still unethical, it's still gross, and it's a cult. And one of the reasons you are going to defend it so much is because you have made so much money from it and from other companies when they get you to come speak.
People in network marketing, they've created a foundation of wealth in network marketing. Like, let's just be real. This is the profession. We're all doing this because we want to live an extraordinary life. What does your extraordinary life look like? I want you just to go there right now in the chat and tell me, what does your extraordinary life look like? What do you want to do? How do you want your days to look? What does that look like to you? What does it look like to you to no longer have finances be an issue? What does it look like to you to design your own days? What does it look like to you to watch somebody else walk across stage, give a speech? Their life has changed because you were bold enough to make a call. You were bold enough to serve them. You were bold enough to help them. What does that look like to you? I'm gonna tell you right now, God gave me a promise and he revealed his will to me. God gave me a promise and he revealed his will to me. When I say this is bigger than you, you need something bigger than yourself. For me, it's God. And on the days that people would cancel appointments, people would no-show me, people would return product, people would leave my team and go to another team, right? The days, not even those things would happen, but the days that I couldn't see my own self-worth, the days that I was like, you know what, I'm not smart enough to do this. I don't think I can do this. The days where people would come into my company, they'd fly past me. I'm like, what the heck? I'm trying way harder, right? The days that I just would post something and no one would comment and no one would listen. The days that I felt like, who the hell am I to be doing this? The days where I was like, you know what? I've done how many meetings and not one person has signed up. The days where I felt defeated, because you will have those days. I would pray, I would evangelize, I would sing in the gospel, I would sing in the Holy Spirit.
All right, she keeps going on and on and on and on and on about Jesus, and I can't anymore. So we are going to skip all the way to the end because it's just too much. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable, and I do consider myself a Christian. Imagine how uncomfortable it makes people who don't. Okay, and then they did this little like trivia thing where they gave away $100 Canadian in Bitcoin, and someone in the chat was reciting the B movie, dictating it like word for word, and it was amazing. That's actually the last note that I have here. It says someone in the chat is reciting the B movie. Probably I was so tired, and I am so tired right now, but just like seeing that is making me so happy. Also in the chat, people are saying these haters are working overtime. Y'all have some different work ethic. Yeah, we do. Someone commented and said CC she sent the link to everybody. That's true. I did that multiple times.
Please drop your @ name, your Instagram handle, so we can send you $100 Canadian worth of Bitcoin. All right. So congratulations to all of our winners, guys. This concludes our event. I want to thank every single person. Oh, they're gonna drop it. Erin's gonna drop their @ name while I'm talking. I want to thank every single person who hopped on here, who participated. Shout out to all the haters, because you know you guys went extra hard. The fact that you guys stayed on here for a whole 3 hours. Thank you.
You have some different type of work ethic. Oh, geez.
Erin, drop your @ name again, please. All right, so Erin, drop your @ name. So the haters can get to editing because we just gave you another paycheck. Y'all be working overtime. And congratulations to everybody else who was genuinely, guys, hold on. Everybody who was genuinely on here to learn, to get some value. I hope you guys got a lot of value, and I want to put another one in the chat for all of our speakers. They did an absolutely amazing job. So kudos to you. If you're still on here after 3 hours, hopefully you guys got a lot of gems. You're able to put them into, you know, your everyday life and apply everything that you learned. If you were interested in any information that you heard,
You can tell it's all the same, almost all the same people. Like last time it was maybe 3 or 4 people typing all the ones, and then now it's like probably less than 10. You see all the same names on here over and over and over again. So it looks like, from an outsider perspective, if you're not catching that because you're just seeing these things fly by, it looks like there's so many more people in there and engaging. But that's what they do to give themselves a heightened sense of credibility to the outside world, which they really don't have that.
Everyday life and apply everything that you learned. If you were interested in any information that you heard, you could reach back to the person who gave you the link to this. And if not, hopefully you can apply any of the value that you guys got. I love you all. I hope you guys all have an amazing Sunday. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.
All right, y'all. So other than the B movie being dictated, that was my personal favorite part. Tomfoolery that Daniel G was saying, I thought was hilarious, and I think is a really good depiction of just how you can say just like the most obvious advice, but say it like kind of in a mean way, not mean, but more abrasive way. And people will be like, oh my God, it's just so amazing. It's like, no, it's not. What you think the most cringy or like most damaging part or like most ridiculous part of this call was, I hope you enjoyed. I have spent way too much time on this today, and I'm very tired and my jaw hurts. So please like and subscribe and comment. I hope you've been liking the content this month. I've been trying to stick to the schedule of Sunday, Tuesday. What did I say? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, I think is what I said. Some days I might be like a little bit off, but still, I hope you enjoyed that and have a great rest of your month, day, night, weekend, whatever, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.